So you might have heard horror stories before where a person gets to the closing table and finds out, lo and behold, there's a lien on their house. We're going to talk about a little bit how that lien happened. What happens if you're building with a builder and that builder doesn't pay his suppliers or subs. It can be a real problem, something that we're familiar with in our industry because there's a thing in the HBA that there's a lien report people can look at, and you can see how a builder and what builder's been on the lien, and then you know what, we have never been on that lien report.
I've never been on that lien report. Obviously, I'll take some kudos from the background of myself being a CPA, and for those who are watching this, they don't know that my wife actually works in our company too, and she worked many years as a bookkeeper. And so we have in-house expertise in the area of financial management, which I think is great for our company because so many people we compete against are basically throwing things in a shoebox and taking an accountant at the end of the year. So they're not doing budget to actuals, they're not doing look back analysis, they're not trying to figure out how they can manage their money better. I mean, you and I, we review every single invoice that comes into our company.
Yeah, every Friday,
every
we
Friday.
got a stack of bills, and we're going through every one, making sure they're valid.
We spend about $800,000 a month paying vendors, and you and I review all $800,000 of it. And I don't know how many builders do that. And in every time we do that review, I'm pulling 5, 6, 7 invoices aside, and I'm picking up the phone and calling a vendor and saying, I think this isn't right. Or are you sure that you got that full return? In and amongst that, I even had some of our cost plus jobs, I've gotten calls from clients and said, you corrected the tax rate. They didn't have the sales tax rate right. Wow, you're on it. And that's their clients, that's clients' money. If I didn't do that, the client would be paying a higher sales tax rate.
So what happens, what is the domino effect happens to where if a builder gets a bill from, say, their lumber company and doesn't pay that, what impact does that have?
They have the right
project?
to do a contractor's or mechanic's lien against the property, which means it's going to flow to the owner. So if you and I hire Joe Bob's plumbing service and we don't pay Joe Bob, and we have a contract with him that says we're going to pay him $17,000 from a quote and we only give him 12, we better have some correspondence that says we've agreed to not pay him that other 5, or he has the right to go to the county and file a lien. If we don't satisfy that lien, it can go right to the house.
And so that way, a customer can come up to their closing, and at the closing table, that could be thrown on them at that
They could owe a tremendous amount of money just to close. And what's their recourse against a builder who obviously doesn't have money, or they would have paid it in the first place?
I mean, there's been instances where builders get in this kind of trouble, and they just close that business up and open up under some other name.
Yes,
you can only run so long that way.
It's probably one of the first questions you should ask a prospective builder if you always operated under this name.
Yeah.
I mean, because if they haven't, it ought to be the tail.
And call the HBA. The HBA is a really good resource. You can call the Home Builders Association of Tulsa, and you can ask for some of this stuff, and actually do some background check on your builder before you end up in a situation where you have a lien that you can't deal with.